Guys, Joe Burrow had one of the best seasons, arguably, ever. He's definitely in the conversation last year in 2019 and going into 2020 for the playoffs and the national championship. Now he's been the first-round draft pick by the Bengals, and we've got into week 2 of the NFL season finally after so much stuff. And I thought it'd be a great time to take a look and see what the Bengals are doing with Joe Burrow and his talent, how they're taking advantage of it, and the kind of schemes they're running to make it easy on a young quarterback. Hey guys, Cody Wilson, the assistant coach. Like I said, we're going to take a look at Joe Burrow today and the Bengals and see what they're doing. I know he had a really good game for week 2, and I decided to go ahead and take a look and see what kind of the schemes are that they're running with him. We all know that young quarterbacks struggle, at least traditionally. The last couple of years that hadn't been as true, and I kind of wanted to see what the Bengals were doing with Joe Burrow, kind of what the schemes were, how they were helping him out. And my thought was, hey, if these are schemes that they're doing at the NFL level that are good for young quarterbacks, there's probably something there to be said for what we can all be doing with our quarterbacks, even at whatever level we're at, whether it's youth, whether it's middle school, high school, wherever we're at. There's probably some universal truths and like positive things we can take away from these schemes. So let's take a look. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the first play that we have here. So we have, I numbered this play number 1, Flame Dancer. And for me, Flame is just a flash fake by the back to the left. Okay, so we got a regular pass pro there. Nothing crazy on the play action pass. It's not a hard sell, just like flash it out there and the back kind of runs by. Okay, and Dancer, to me, we got both arms straight up in the air. If you think almost like making a field goal or a touchdown, but a dancer like a ballerina, both hands in the air over their head coming together. That's our go routes that we have here on the outside. And then in the middle is what we typically call, or what I typically call, a middle read. And here just converted into a dig route. But that middle read can be more of a post or more of a dig, depending on what the defense gives you. Traditionally, it's been more of a dig because those outside routes are deeper, but also because of safety leverage. This deep middle safety has leverage over him. And then underneath, we just got a pair of shallow crossing routes here. And they don't really end up crossing like in a mesh type scenario, but we've got the back coming out, getting to one side. We've motioned the H-back or the tight end or whoever you like to call this guy over, and he's released to the other side. So we have an outlet to either side here. Now, as far as the progression, typically these are going to go the go route to the dig to one of these two outlets, and it's probably going to be the one to your side. So like if we chose the Y, it's probably going to be Y to Z to the F coming out here on the right side. If we chose the X, typically going to be the X to the Z and coming back down to the H who is getting across to his side. Does it always have to be that way? No, but that's typically what we see. Now let's take a look at the actual film. Let's see here. We'll slow it down. So we've got our back coming in motion. Here we don't have to have that slow. So we've got a one deep safety back here. Our linebackers have adjusted. 4-man rush, no blitz. You can see the flash fake in the backfield. Okay, we're getting deep. Burrows working the left side. We see a flat-footed defender, so we're going to let it go because if we're even, we're leaving. Okay, that's a common phrase. If we're even, we're leaving, okay? Whatever it was that brought Burrow to his left side, he's keying 39 right here. And 39 drops, but then he turns and his shoulders are parallel to the line of scrimmage. Let me see if I can back that up again. Okay, right here. When the cornerback is like this on a go route, yeah, he's causing collision, but the quarterback can compensate for that because there's no way this guy should be able to make the play at that point. So Parallel shoulders. Yes, I'm releasing that sucker. So the ball came out right after that, and we get a deep completion, but I believe on this play they challenged it. It was the first play of the game, actually. Challenged it. It was reversed, and it came back, but will look like a great play there to me. Okay, play number 2 here. Let's see. Can we see? Okay, there we go. Play number 2 here. We have what I call mesh return. Okay, the mesh return means we're going to make it look like mesh. So you can see our Z and our H. They're coming across like they're going to mesh, and then they stick their foot in the ground, and they get back out. Some people might call that a snap or a whip or a snag, something like that, but it goes by many names. I'm going to call it mesh return, though. So we're going in, we're going to stick it and break back outside. We're going to stick it, break back outside. We've got the dig over the middle. We've got our deep corner route. This is a condensed formation. X and Z are fairly close to the rest of the formation here. And then we've got, like has become really popular on the mesh or even on the shallow series, is the back running a wheel route out of the backfield. I would call it a little bit of a modified wheel because of the angle. It's not the traditional wheel that a lot of us think of, but it really does kind of take this path here. So what they're hoping for when they do this with a mesh is that the linebacker on the running back gets picked by the corner or whatever the other defender is who is chasing the mesh inside. So you got a little bit of the same theory going on here with this one. So let's take a look at the actual play. Let me get rid of, there we go. And let's back that up and slow it down, actually. Okay, so we don't get our pick on our running back here. We get our mesh and we're coming back out. This guy, he's just kind of sitting it down because he has zone coverage. Okay, our tight end here that's working the mesh return, he feels like he's found a hole right here. He did drift out just a little bit more. Our mesher on the top, he pivoted and he was reading the defense and felt that he had room to work outside, which he did, because the main reason why is because our corner route here at the top. Okay, so our corner is working, and that's making our corner and our safety both drop. So there's nobody shallow outside. So he knows that if he has leverage on this defender, he knows if he has leverage on this defender, which right here pivoting and going back outside, he does. He just has to keep running. And we've got 3 yards of space. They can get an easy completion there. And just to backtrack a little bit, again, the progression, you can work the progression different ways here. I would say you can work corner to dig to a return. You can also work wheel to dig to return, something like that. There's a few different ways you can do it depending on structure, matchup, and a few other characteristics. All right, guys. On this one, I almost feel bad including it in a breakdown because it's so simple and easy, but I think the fact that you have an NFL team doing this with a young quarterback early in the season, early in a drive, at the beginning of the game, really says a lot for the concept, which is kind of the idea behind all of these plays here. But we've got essentially stick on the left. They run it a little bit different. If you watch college football, Clemson runs their stick a lot like this with the double outs. This guy doesn't really seem to be looking to sit it down, I don't believe, if memory serves me correctly. But we've got our go route. We've got our stick routes here, our little 5-yard outs. On the backside, they didn't do a double slant. They did one slant where he's kind of got to work the leverage of this strong safety back here. And then they've got a stop route or a shorter curl, only at about 10 or 12. Maybe that's a regular curl for you. Yeah, we could call that a regular curl. I'm sorry. I'm thinking a deep curl at about 15. We do get a little bit of pressure with the wheel off the edge, and we're kind of looping the end inside here. So To me, this blitz tells us if this guy's coming off the edge, which he was showing early pre-snap, I believe. If you look at numbers with a one-high structure here, well, the corner's got to handle this Z, the nickel back or dime back or rover or whatever you'd call this fifth DB has got to handle the H in some manner, and that leaves the Mike to chase the Y. And us offensively, knowing the route structure, that means this Mike has got a haul tail to our left, which opens up the room if we can get the leverage on the safety here for this to be our hot route. Okay, so we get the blitz. We know this is our hot route. This should be his idea from the very beginning. Now, the curl back here, you should have a great throwing lane, a window, if for some reason we don't get leverage on the curl. Excuse me, not on the curl, on the slant. But he's still chasing us inside. That should clear out a window here for a potential throw on the curl. So let's look at the film. Okay, so yeah, pre-snap, this guy, pretty tight coverage on the slot right here on the hash mark. Okay, so we're checking that out pre-snap. We've got our one high safety here at about 12 yards or so. We've got pretty deep cushion over here. So let's go at it here. Let's here we go. Well, maybe I should not have slow-moed that. There we go. Okay, so we've got the pressure coming. We just got to work right here with all this space. And that's an easy pitch and catch right there. And you see how we could have space on the curl backside. As far as the stick routes, we're trying to get this guy vertical. We want him to turn. We want a mandatory outside release. How this DB is looking at the go route. That is a necessity when we run the stick route so that we have the ability to throw these out-breaking routes. If this guy is looking inside, these out-breaking routes have no chance. All right, now we have a little bit of a flash to Burrow's college days here. They start off in an empty set in the motion. I'm calling him the back. He may not actually be a back. He may be a receiver. I didn't look too terribly close with the personnel, but they motion a guy back in the backfield, and that's a popular thing to do because a lot of times when you line up an empty, defenses have a certain check that they're going to play to empty, and then when you go back to more of a traditional 3-by-1 with 10 personnel in the game, and they check out of something, it's typically to something more vanilla. That doesn't necessarily mean the elite college and NFL teams always do that, but that would be my coaching tip to you guys, is that can be a very effective tool to line up in one formation where you know the defense has to check to something special for it and then shift into a more traditional formation here. So we run almost like a slant level. So we've got like I believe a 3, a 5, and a 7-step slant here. So we're really working windows. Real simple concept. Almost everybody runs some variation of these all slants to one side. So we've got an easy quick throw going here. We're blocking, releasing, getting out late here. So after we've cleared, we do have a flat defender, a flat area player to release to. And we've got, upon the motion, we started off with press coverage. When we shifted or motioned this guy in the backfield, the safety spun down in the corner, went from inside bump and run type leverage to he dropped outside with deeper leverage so that we kind of deter what's going on here. And we'll see here, I believe we end up getting a scramble on this play, but we would work basically on the slant side, you'd work inside out, and if we like the matchup over here or the coverage structure, which pre-snap I think would have been a fine idea, we can work the go route. So this is kind of a split field deal where we have a quick game and then we have a matchup thing back here. You could even say for coverage that this might be better for cover one, this might be better for cover 2, getting that hole shot on the outside of the safety. All right. All right, so you saw the defense shifting there late. Boom, 3-step here. Actually, let's go back so we can count them. So let's look right here. We've got 1, 2, 3, boom. Okay, we've got, and that helps with the timing. That's kind of a big deal. On the middle guy, he should be on a 5-step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then obviously the last guy we didn't count, but you can assume there that we're correct on the 7, and that opens up our different windows for the throw. You can also see here how after these guys clear, if for whatever reason we don't like what's going on over here, the back does slip out, and we've got plenty of open room. We could hit the back if the pocket didn't collapse on us before Burrow went on his scramble. But again, this corner dropping deeper and outside leverage. We've got a stem to his outside shoulder here on our go route. They ended up dropping. They've got 2 under him, so that's a big no-no there. We probably don't want to work that side. And you can see, let's see, where was Burrow looking on this one? Looks like he wanted to work that go route, but 42 dropping under there, and the deep outside leverage made him come off of that. So he pulled it down and used his legs too, and showed that he does have some athleticism to him. All right, 5th play we want to look at from this opening drive is Blaze double dig. Okay, for me, just like Flame was a 1-back fake, flash fake to the left, Blaze is a 2-back to the left, almost getting a little bit of an ISO lead action here with the H and the back both going into the left. We still end up with 2 underneath routes. Instead of them crossing paths, they go to each their respective sides. We've got a deep curl here, okay, working at about 14 yards back to about 12, and we've got double digs on the left. This is great to isolate, especially if you have a 1 safety structure. A lot of time you see this as more of a Mills deal where we get the post, but we're going to break inside here. The fake should help open up the dig and hold these linebackers here. So we're going to get a dig if he's wide open, because the safety stays deep with this deeper curl route threatening him. He should be deeper than the deepest man, so that should keep him deep. If the fake is good, that should open up room here for the dig. If for whatever reason we get inside coverage and we don't like that, that should allow for the second dig to be isolation with this cornerback here. There's no reason that if this dig is covered that this one should also be covered. So on this one, we're probably working dig to dig or dig to curl, and then down to one of these release routes. Whoop. Okay, so we've got our fakes going in here. We do not hold the backers quite as well as we would like, because you can see we're widening out here. This backer gets turned real quick, dropping right under the dig. We get 2 people kind of in the throwing lane here on the outside. So our fake didn't do as good of a job as we were hoping it would. So it's out of the question. They've got we're not working the left side here. He's working on the right side. So dig number 1, dig number 2, no go. We come down to our release route here in the flat. Real easy concept. Okay, so next we've got stick return with a rub. So because of the popularity of stick, already running it early in the game, we're going stick return. So we're making it look like stick, and kind of like our mesh return, we're making it look like the stick, and then we're going to stick a foot in the ground and bring it back inside in this case. So we're hoping that we get our defender overplaying the stick, and then we can get back underneath them to wide open grass. We hope that, well, if that one gets covered, that maybe this guy can beat his guy coming back inside. We've got our deep route over here with a go, and then on the backside, it looks like he's running like a fade or a wheel almost after the pick. So X is going to run basically straight at this defender here and sit it down like he's running a spot or a stick route and just act like he wants the ball right there. We're going to buy some time by jabbing inside, and then we're going to rub off underneath the X here, running up like we want to get up the sideline, and we get a back shoulder throw on this one that stops him. And it turned out really beautifully. It was great play. I love these kind of things on when you get closer to the goal line, and there's a few different variations of them, but this one is a very popular one. So let's see. Okay, so we're running right at that defender, and we try to get him, end up getting our own cornerback, and you can see how we have to throttle it down right here. So the guy getting on our wheel or our vertical route here, he is going to jab inside, I think maybe a 2-foot fire. Nope, slow, and then he sticks it with the outside foot. It's his job to get underneath his X, and he's looking to get upfield, and you can see right there he gets stopped and turns around back towards the quarterback and rolls out to the sideline to make the grab. Okay, and up top, so you can see the stick return. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're breaking outside, and we try to come back in here. He's trying to come back in. He gets collisioned. He's also trying to get back inside. That collision kind of messes that up on the top part of the route. But I would like working this rub just because we have press down here on both guys. To me, that would have me licking my chops because that's exactly what it's built for. So that's why we go to the bottom on the rub route. Okay, so now they've got an interesting variation here. They've got a blend of what I call hoss and almost like stick. So in stick, we've always got a deep route. We've got a somebody getting in the flats quickly, and then we've got the stick or the out type route here, and we've got just a variation of that. Like I kind of debated on what I would call this, but I ended up saying that we would call it hoss, which is hitch on the outside with a slot seam. So hitch on the outside, slot seam, and then tagging an out with it here. And that's just kind of describing the left side that we end up working here. The idea being I've got my vertical route clearing out for an easy hitch throw. It also can clear out for this stick route right here. So this seam is just trying to make open grass for our underneath routes. That's the idea on it. Now, it doesn't mean that the seam is not valid, and you can see that it's kind of curving inside. He's going to work this safety and try to win on the inside. On the right side, we've got a variation. It was kind of vague here as whether or not he was bursting inside. The X was to run a corner or to like fade back outside. I ended up calling it a corner, but we had a quick out right here by the F who actually motioned there. He shifted over there. And then we've got the corner. So we've got a variation of corner, smash, China, whatever you like to call that concept. On the right, again, a very popular universal route concept with a variation of hoss or stick on the left side. Let's see how it worked out in the film. Okay, so we're working deep here. We've got easy pitch and catch right there. Let's see, we had huge coverage off right here. The thing that would take you off of the hitch, you'd say, man, look at that cushion. Is this guy breaking down? Like, even though that's a big cushion, he's probably got great closing speed. So that, even though it's like 8 yards off, probably not the best idea to throw that one with him shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage. If he were to open up for some unknown reason or drop at the snap, then that would be a plausible route to consider. Up top on our smash, what we'll call smash variation here, you can see we're chipping, faking a chip and then getting into a flat immediately. We're kind of bursting inside here, and you can kind of see this route. He's sticking it upfield, and it's almost like a fade the way he's easing back out toward the sideline. But again, the idea being that we've got a high-low route here where we're working the corner with somebody deep and somebody low. He really could have got that out route if he had been working that side. Might have got him a touchdown off of it, honestly, or got down inside of the 10. I wish I could tell you the exact reason why he was working the left side, but it's probably, if I had to guess, probably the structure here that we've got 2 over. He was expecting either a blitz or this stacked coverage right here is really going to take both of these guys out because he needs to carry, and he's dropping on the snap, so we've got 2 guys out of the way to open up for the out route. All right, the last one here is an old concept pin that I actually learned when I was coaching at the junior college. We're trying to, all it is like a sit or stop or curl route with a post over the top, trying to get a safety to bite and open up the post over the top, and if they carry, trying to hit right there. So it's really these 2 guys we're working on now. There is a variation here, kind of mixing together some things that I've not seen this exact combination before, where we've got the H running a shallow underneath to the other side, so we can work it as a 1, 2, 3. So the sit to the post to the shallow. We can also work we can work the shallow to the wheel, or if we have isolation in the room, we've got a double move back here with the post corner, or the poco, as some people like to call it here. But the main emphasis here, and again, the name of this one, pin, comes from this 2-man concept right here. So we're kind of mixing together a few things. Great on the goal line or in the red zone, which is where we are here. So let's see. Okay, so we stem it inside a little bit. We get vertical, and then we're looking to get over the top. The sit right here, we kind of force it a little bit. We were looking for the touchdown, and in fact, when I ran this at the JUCO, I was taught that this play was touchdown to check down. Touchdown on the post, check down to the pin, and even in this particular variation with the shallow. Now, you can see, so we've got the shallow, and again, hopefully this would create a rub backside. We're running zone, so it doesn't really, so this route is kind of null and void on the wheel back here, trying to get up the seam. There's nothing really going there that's going to be good for us because it's in zone. And then you can see our post corner looking back here, and that's just going to be a back pile on bucket throw, or you can throw it flatter as he's breaking a little bit flatter.